Alright, this is the assembly instructions for the Barrel of Ale. Probably one of the more popular cut files, I think. So to get the parts out, as I say in my other ones, these all come in cards. They're burnt on the front and back. To diminish the burn marks, I would suggest just slapping a coat of wood stain on this. It'll diminish those burn marks to make it less noticeable. And then I would just use your thumb, use your finger, and just push through all of the circles to pop them all out. Pull them off the back here. And then this is the base piece, so we'll use our finger back and forth, pop that out. This base piece and this one, we'll just back and forth with that until these pop out as well. And the tap. So for the tap, it's so small that I'm going to use my hobby knife. I'm going to find that sprue connector. I'm going to cut it the same as I do in all my other videos, and then that'll pop out. On these pieces, you might want to go back and trim the sprue marker, but I'm not going to do that right now. So, to help with painting these are numbered for assembly, but as far as painting goes, the way I paint my Barrels of Ale is I have these two silver rings, right? And then I paint the tap silver as well. So to paint these, to identify which rings to paint, I've put an R down here at the bottom, down here, to indicate that these are the rings. These are the Barrels of Ale rings, right? So these silver rings here are the ones that have the R's on them. So you could, if you want, go ahead and take these to the side and spray paint them and bring them back and then assemble it that way. So I would spray paint these silver or paint them silver, however you want to do it. And then the rest of them I would just hit them with a wood stain of some sort. I use cyan brown. It's just a stain and seal. Same stuff you use on decks outside. So this is how we assemble this. The piece with no number, it looks like it has no number, right? No number. This ring here is actually a 0. That's how I did that. So this is piece number 0. You could go back and trim up the sprue marks, but I just want you to notice the sprue marks are on the bottom of the Barrel of Ale, the part that sits down on the stand. So it wouldn't be noticeable if you did not trim them. So you take the number 0, this is 0, you take the tap, right? With the long piece facing up, you put the tap in the hole, right? And then you push it all the way down, all the way through, like that, right? So now we have a tap. Now, we start with the number 1. So this is the number 1. We put this one on next, like that, with the numbers facing up, right? So this is the tap, the number faces up, as you can sort of see there, and just slide that on. And then we go number 2, this would be the silver one because it has the R on it, that's the ring, right? Push that on, then you go number 3, then you go number 4, then you go number 5, then you go to the next ring, which is number 6, that's this one. That goes on there as well. What you're looking at here is the bottom. Those are the sprue marks on the bottom. Then you go number 7, and you notice that we are out of peg. There's no more peg left to put any more on. That's because number 8 is the back. You don't want to have a square hole in the back of your keg. It would leak. So this one is just going to glue right on the end here. Just right on the end cap. You notice I didn't put any glue on this, because what happens is when you put glue on the end piece, it holds the rest of it on. So this one is the only one that you have to use your fingers and sort of line it up and sort of eyeball it a bit, make sure it's lined up proper, and there you go. Once that's glued on, the rest of the pieces will not slide off the tap, and there you have your Barrel of Ale. Once it's painted, it'll look like this. Again, I'm not going over how to paint these in this video. This is the stand for the barrel. 2 pieces on either side, and this goes in the middle. I used to have a design on the middle of this, but it takes longer to cut, and I saved myself about an hour of cut time on this Kickstarter by taking that little design out of the middle. So I went ahead and did that. Besides, you won't see it anyways once the barrel is sitting on top of it. So these pieces go on the end like so. They just slide into the peg pieces, and there you go. And now you can set your barrel of ale on top, and you have a stand with ale. And that's the assembly instructions for the barrel of ale.